Hello, hello,
Hello, hello,
hello,
hello. Welcome,
guys.
welcome,
Yes, welcome back.
welcome
You
back.
guys are rocking it. You have already made it to day 3. And guys, this is actually the last day of
Is
this
it day
summit.
3
It
already?
is day 3.
Are you telling me that it's already almost over?
I am telling you that I think we totally slipped here, that we did not bust out a bottle of champagne, but maybe that's for the end of the video or for later on. But we are just so very proud of you guys. I mean, seriously, as corny as it sounds, give yourself a good old pat on the shoulder. I'm going to do so here with Kim,
Yes, ma'am.
because we know it is not easy. It is not easy with so many distractions out there nowadays to commit to something like this. So if you found yourself listening to our voices, watching this video
Once
right
again,
now, again, we say thank you. We
yes,
say
ma'am.
thank you, of course,
Thank
for
you
committing to us, and trusting us with your family, but first and foremost, for committing to you.
to you, to yourself, for your family, for your future, for
Yes.
your life. We salute you.
We salute you, a big this and that, and we
Fist
are
bump.
going to
Boom.
dive in, because
Exactly.
as we say, time is precious. So you guys have been here on April 21st, April 24th, 27th. Here we go. Unless you guys are watching the replays, we're just so happy that you guys are here with us.
27th.
Yes, this is the 27th.
Unfortunately, it's the last day. But during these 3 days, the past week, we are on this mission because we feel like the world needs more stepmoms. Not that I want families to break up, but there are so many broken up, so many families living with just a single parent, and we don't think that that's what life should be all about. We think that there need to be more stepmoms, but we also know how hard it is. Stepmom life is not for everyone. It's not simple. It's not easy.
That's why we're here.
Exactly. To empower you
Yes.
and all other stepmoms in the world so that you can have the family life that you've always wanted.
Yes.
So that you can receive the love that you need and that you can get the appreciation that you deserve, because I know that you deserve it.
Yes.
I'm giving you all the appreciation that you deserve, that you need right now, because we know the sacrifices that you're making every day. As we are teaching you to fish, here we go. Thank you for the past few days, past week, once again. All these tags, these likes, these shares, these comments.
Yes,
it's
they have
just
not gone unnoticed.
Amazing to be a part of what's going on, what we're starting here, to witness all of that. And today, part 3, it is the grand finale. It doesn't have to mean the end, but unfortunately for this summit, it is a third and last day. And yeah, we've been talking about so many things in the past week. I'm gonna quickly take you through them. As most blended families, most stepmoms start out in this adventure, in this journey, and we know because we were there too. You're in love with life. Okay, so he has a kid, so what? Only more people to love. Little do you know that somewhere on the horizon, somewhere behind, somewhere around the corner, there is a storm waiting for you. But we don't know about that, so we're just smooth sailing, enjoying life, we're cruising, life is good.
And like Kim said, we were there too.
We were there too. Who is the we? This is us. Me, my name is Kim, and next to me you see my beautiful, amazing wife, Cheyenne. This photo was taken in 2018.
Yes, time of this recording almost 4 years ago now.
Yes, ma'am. 4 years later, stronger than ever, even though we were from different countries, different continents, even different cultures. I'm born and raised living in Belgium, as we are now, and my beautiful wife decided to move here because I already had a daughter at that point. At this time, you can see there's our little baby boy, Mason the Brave. But at the time when my wife moved here and joined my little family to become our own cute little quaint little family, she did not speak any Netherlands. or any Dutch, as we would say.
That's right.
And my daughter, the ones that you see with the
Beautiful long
beautiful
legs.
legs there, she was like, but Daddy, ik spreek geen English.
Which means
Oh
I
my
speak
gosh.
no English.
So how do you do that? How do you blend families while blending cultures, while blending languages, while being locked down, and we've
Having
had
a
it
baby
all.
and having his girl move in with us full time, and now we're 50-50 with her mom, so we've had a little bit of back and forth, but with all these
But
compounded issues, we found a way.
yes, ma'am.
We found a way.
Because we dove deep, we wanted a solution,
That's
and
right.
we did not stop until we found one, and we did. We dove through, we went through any scientific research that we can find. We interviewed many blended
lot.
couples, families. We read every book that we could find. And I'm very glad to say that we cracked the code.
We did.
And now we are on a mission to spreading this code, sharing the secret with the world. You can find us at the Claimants, but at this point, I'm heading on my own here. I'm the stepmom guy. I love stepmoms. I love this stepmom most, but oh my gosh, the world cannot thank you enough for all that you do. Let me be its voice to tell you that I am on this mission, stepmoms all around the world, and I cannot do this on my own. I wish I could, but I need your help to help me help more stepmoms. So hit that share button, share the secret, tag a favorite stepmom, a stepmom friend that you know, and they will never, they might not tell you how desperate they are, how much in need that they are for the help.
Yes.
So just share. Don't think, go
Just
ahead
share.
and share. Because we are going through this successful step family system
Yes.
that we've been going through all week. We've touched upon the entire system in the last lesson, but now in this session, we're going to go deeper into it. Like I said, this is the last video, the third video. You should have had the other ones in your inbox or even the short videos, but no worries. It all comes together in this one. As I am on its mission, as all blended families should know this.
Yes.
Every blended family, every stepmom should know about this secret. So help me on my mission and share with them. So as we are smooth sailing, as we are enjoying life, as we are building a family, it doesn't last long until there is a problem. We may think going into this journey like, okay, let's just, we are starting a new family, a little bit of the old, a little bit of the new, let's put it all together. Yeah. There's a lot of love here, enough love, and we'll make it happen. Okay, good luck with that. You know that it doesn't work like that. You know that there are challenges, there are obstacles, there are children involved, there are exes, there's humans. We are all human. We all have our expectations.
It's a lot of personalities that you cannot control, a lot of circumstances you can't control.
Now, what science says is that what rises above the surface, what we can see, the problems that we face, is just a tip of the iceberg. There's so much more underneath the water that we don't see, that we're not aware of. And as long as we were to only tackle the problems that do rise, the problem will never go away. We're dealing with the effects here. We're not dealing with the cause, not at the root cause.
Well, look what happened to the Titanic, too. There you go. If you need a better imagery than that.
But that doesn't need to be you. That does not need to be you. On the contrary,
because
we are here, and we are here to make sure that that does not happen.
Exactly.
So when we look underneath the water, what is that first layer? When there's stepmoms, stepchildren, it's the step parenting thing. It's like, who are you? Daddy, why did you marry this woman? If it weren't for her, my mom and my dad would still be in love with each other. Who knows how children think, right? So there's a lot of issues that could be there, probably, most likely.
Yeah. I was just going to say that it's funny how with this situation, there's some things that rise, but there's a lot that don't rise. There's a lot of things that we see that come out of stepchildren or maybe your interactions with your stepchildren. And then there's that deeper layer of things that they don't even know how to process. Maybe you don't even know how to process.
Maybe we are
Right?
not aware of them ourselves.
Exactly.
Exactly. So
Yes.
what does science say? How do we overcome this step
Right.
parenting thing? Like,
Yeah.
how do I do this? Who am I to them? What is my role in their life? How do I discipline my stepchildren? All these things, they get a voice. We channel them through the parenting. When you and your man get together on the same parenting page, that's where your voice, your role, your disciplining comes together. And we've been going through this at great lengths, I feel. I hope you feel that same way in the joint parenting plan.
JPP.
How you and your man you join together. It's both your wants, both your needs come together in this plan on paper about how you are going to parent as a team. And if that is not clear to you, I gladly advise you to go back and look at that second video where we dove way deep into how do you do this? How do you do this parenting plan? How do you create your own parentments? And that's how stepmoms can now easily discipline, help, get on the same page easily. Well, it's a start, right?
Can I throw out a little pun here?
Do it.
So, ladies, as we're talking about this joint parenting plan, you've heard me say JPP a few times. My American mind goes to, well, it's JIP, right? There's no I there, but if you try to say JPP together, it's JIP. Well, in American English, we say gypped or I got gypped out of something when you, right, get left out of something. So if it helps you remember how important a joint parenting plan is, remember that this will ensure that you don't get gypped out of your parenting role in your family.
No, exactly, because you are now a
Yes.
new family.
Yes.
You, your man,
Yep.
through love, because of love, in love. And there's kids, there's more people to love there. And what we are going through, what we are talking you to, what we are sharing with you is the secret recipe that all successful step families share, that we all have in common.
Yes. It's based on scientific research. This is what scientific researchers and studies and findings have found that this secret sauce right here, like as Kim said, this recipe and what we're about to share with you guys next, this is what you need if you want to be a successful step
All right.
family.
Now, what is all this thing that we need,
Right.
that we are talking about here? Because we have been talking about problem above the surface. Then there's a step parenting, first level, second level, the parenting. We can overcome that through our parenting plan. Third level, at the bottom downstairs, there's this marriage. Marriage or relationship nowadays, a lot of people are not
Right.
married. It's the same thing. It's where you and your spouse, no, you and
Partner.
your partner, your man, your woman come together in love and a new family gets created. That's the foundation, that's the essence, and that should be always be your focus first and foremost. Because if that, whenever that falls apart, all the rest of your family will also fall apart. So that's why we focus there first and foremost. And now we know that you as a stepmom, you have been giving it your all. You work so hard, you sacrifice so much of your time, your energy, your dreams that you once cherished. You give so much away of what you are, what you have to give. And we are here today to tell you, to remind you that sometimes you do not need to work harder. Sometimes it comes down to working smarter. And it reminds me of this little dude in his boat here. And he feels like, oh my gosh, I'm sinking, I'm drowning. He didn't see the rest of the iceberg there. And through those 3 red stars, the water is flushing in. And he's working hard, giving it his all that he has to give, but he feels like he's getting nowhere, and he's getting nowhere fast. So if we were to work smarter in a situation like this, what would we recommend? We would recommend tackle those holes
Yeah.
first. Make sure that there's no more water coming into your boat, and then you can get the rest out. What are those 3 holes in a blended family? It is a step parenting, which you can overcome through parenting, a joint parenting plan, which comes through life, which reflects your relationship, your marriage. That's where you focus on. Because how do we do all these things? We do them through communication. We cannot smell what our partner is thinking or feeling. I cannot do it to you, and you cannot do it with me. So we have to use, words. It would be handy if you speak the same language. I don't know if men and women ever would speak the same language, but even then, it's not just about speaking. It's only science would say only 7% of the words you use matter, like only to 7% degree. So it's a lot more of how you say it,
right?
When you say it,
where you say it, what tone
probably
you use,
what you don't say.
physical,
A lot of these
nonverbal communication
things, and we are here still on our mission. And I ask you, share this with the step families. All blended families need to know this. All stepmoms need to know
And
this.
it's as simple, guys, as forwarding your email that we've been sending you to friends. You can click the link on YouTube to share. You can go ahead and text it to a friend. You can even just go ahead and post it on your Facebook, your Instagram, all of that. It's just important that you share and that more stepmoms can get this valuable information.
And tag someone. Simple. Takes less than a minute nowadays. But anyways, your focus first and foremost should and is always for the rest of your life your relationship. Because unless if you make your relationship if you don't make your relationship a priority, your relationship will not make you a priority, and then it will not last. So we have to work at it. How do we do this? Through communication. And remember that in communication, it's not just the words. In not using any words, I can sometimes very clearly send out a message. And I'm sure that ladies, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And also remember that these words is only one of 5 love languages. There are so many more ways that we can express, communicate love without using those words. Just a small reminder, a free tip there. No worries, my pleasure. All right, when we're talking about communication, which is the vehicle, which is the vessel through which the love that is there, our relationship comes to life. Communication is an art, definitely. But at the same time, it's also a skill. A skill means that you can practice, you can get better at it, something that you can train. Of course, it's not easy, but it's also not impossible. In your communication, your culture also comes to life. So it depends on where in the world you were born. What is your normal? What are your experiences? What are your values? We talked more about that in the previous video. Please go and check that out if you haven't already. Your experience, but also very important, your gender, because men and women, we do not communicate in the same way. We speak a different language.
What is that, Mother from Mars, Women Are from Venus, or something? There's a reason why that
You
book
said
was so
it.
popular.
You said it. But I do know that we are here together. You are in your family together with your man because there is all this love. So do not forget that it is in love, it is through love, it is with love, it is because of love. It is the love that will get you through. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're this family. And as we are communicating, what do we mean about communicating? It's like knowing when to speak, maybe knowing how to speak, why to speak. I've learned that sometimes I have to speak up, even though I don't want to, but because I value my wife, value our marriage, value the love, I have to speak. But I also know that there are times that I have to not speak.
Right.
Now it's my time to listen, knowing when to speak, knowing when to listen. So it takes courage to be a good communicator. And sometimes we get scared. Sometimes we think like, oh my gosh, my wife doesn't love me anymore. She's saying all these things to me. And okay, at these points, I still have to be courageous enough to have faith, to keep listening,
Mhm.
knowing that in the end, we are in this together. It is in love. It is as a team. She's not out there to destroy me. I must do something right, otherwise we would not be married anymore. So yeah, I think that's something that men could use a little bit more of, and maybe women too. Who knows, who needed to hear that.
Us too.
That's why in a marriage, in a relationship, in a family, or just in life, I think it's so important that we learn how to forgive other people.
Yes.
Forgive our spouses, maybe first and foremost, forgive ourselves, because we are not perfect. I am not perfect, and I'm sorry to break it to you, but you are not perfect
Yeah,
either, beautiful
sorry.
wife. Oh
Sorry.
no,
No, I know that one
stepmama,
for
or your
sure.
man there. No one is perfect. We all
Mistakes.
know better in hindsight.
Mhm.
When things are done and over, then we think like, I should have known better, I could have known better, but you didn't. But in the time that you did all these things, that you tried all these things, I'm sure that you tried with the best intention. So forgive one another, forgive each other. It's also a skill, also a muscle
Yeah.
that you can
Well,
practice.
practice.
But I'm sure that stepmoms know what I'm talking about
Yeah.
now. Just
And
like
us too.
being patient, right? Being patient with ourselves, being patient with our man, with our children, with my wife sometimes. Maybe she has to have more patience with
Hey,
me
God
though.
says, be careful what you pray for right now. You pray for patience, He's going to give you things to be patient with.
Things to practice my
Practice,
patience
right?
through, right? Now, this one is very important to me, and I'm not saying that it should therefore also be important to you. But I do know that as a stepmom, it means that your man at some point in his life has had loved and lost, and now there's kids, and most likely there are some hurts there. There's some pain that is not healed. And I believe that we cannot, that in this society, in this world, we do not value kindness enough. And I believe that the best way, the best place in life that there should be that kindness, it should be at home. It should be in our marriage, in our relationship, where we can be patient and forgive and listen and speak kind words, speak in a kind manner. We are here because we love each other. Let's never forget that one. Knowing when to lead, maybe courageous, maybe speaking up, maybe being patient and forgiving one another, leading through forgiving. How about that? Let's start this new trend. Because if I can forgive you, maybe then chances are that you will forgive me. If I don't forgive you, then probably you won't forgive me either. Bless you, my beautiful love.
Thank you. Forgive me for
Of course.
that.
But then how are we then as a family? How are we then in our marriage, in our relationship? That means that we'll stay stuck at some point, and it's our intention. Oh my gosh, only the sky is the limit. Knowing when to lead, knowing when to follow, even in communication. And when we bring all these things together, what I'm trying to convey here is this idea, this message of safety. I've learned that in a marriage, when the two of us come together and when there is that psychological safety, then there is so much magic that can happen. And I find that kindness to be very important there. Patience, listening. It also takes courage, of course, to create safety, to step into, because you co-create that safety together.
And if I
Do it.
might add, if you ladies are watching live with us, Kim has been emphasizing that kindness is very important to him. And maybe there's something here that we've left out or something that you find is so important when it comes to communication.
Mhm.
So please, I would implore you, I would encourage you to write right now in the chat. Let us know. What is most important to you when you think of communication, especially between you and your partner? um, there cannot be enough communication about communication, and I would love, if you're watching on the replay, if you feel that you want to talk to us more about this, go ahead and put a comment below this video, or you can always email us. But yeah, I would encourage you guys to really dive deep and think within yourself, what is something that means a lot to you about communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out, because on the topic of communication, we can write 20 books, we can give 20 seminars,
Right.
but we don't have the time or the place here. So these things that I've gathered here, I think maybe it's what I find important. Maybe it's what we find important.
Identify.
So I ask you, what words would you use if you were to choose, what is this, 10 words that have to do with communication? No, it's less than 10. What 10 words would you use? You can borrow some of mine. Ask your husband or your man, which words does he value there? This is by no means an exhaustive list at all. But what I have learned through communication, is that oftentimes it's
What a
like
word to pop up on the screen, but no, yeah.
it's like this reflection. Like I
Wow,
it's
that's
so
powerful.
easy to say it's your fault. You are doing the wrong things. You're saying the wrong things. You're not listening to me. Well, if you're not listening to me, maybe I am not using the right words. And so instead of pointing to others and saying what they are doing wrong, I feel that there is so much power in looking at yourself in the mirror, owning your own part in this two-way conversation here. It is only then when we can start to become aware and understand, where are we coming from? How are we making things harder than need to be? So then we can start evolving our communication and our skills.
I think so often people think of communication in relationships of between the two individuals that are in the relationship, the couple, but it really has to start with yourself, because how can you most eloquently actually truly communicate to your partner, to your spouse about yourself, if you don't first commune and discuss and talk with yourself and get to know yourself?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. It starts with yourself, and then you go
yeah.
to your
Right.
partner. That's where it all comes together, and it's very beautiful. And what you'll discover in doing so is that we all have things that we want,
Mhm.
but there's also things that we need
Yes.
in a relationship, in communication, in love. There are things that I need, but there are also things that
Yeah.
you need.
Right.
And if I want for you to respect my needs, well,
Yeah.
we can only do so to the extent that I also respect your
Yeah.
needs.
And that you also know your needs and communicate them to me.
That's where it all comes full
So right.
circle, right?
Mhm.
It's only when we stop blaming others, own our own power, own our own shortcomings,
Yeah.
yeah,
Weaknesses.
okay,
Yeah. Struggles.
those things.
Yeah.
When we become aware of those, that we can then start to grow, start to evolve, and becoming clear of what you need in your relationship, in your communication. Maybe I have said it enough, maybe not, but that kindness to me speaks out so much. And I'm not saying that that has to be you. I just know that it's me. So when we're talking about this relationship, the love, the marriage, the foundation of our family, why we became a family in the first place, we've been talking about communication, which is more than just words. I would very much like to add this safe space that you create, where it's just okay to just be. and where you can be imperfect,
Yes,
and where
yes.
you can let down your guards, and where you can just breathe, just be, and be together and come home with your partner. And it's all good. It's all good.
And I must add, guys, that that's also an art, just like communication is an art. It's an art to build a safe space. So often when we go through hurts and we have this healing that we need, and if your partner has been through a broken marriage, a broken relationship, don't feel like the safe space is something that necessarily happens automatic. It's something that is built.
It takes
It
courage.
takes courage,
It
right?
and it takes time and
Yeah.
it takes effort and it takes
Yes.
work to create it,
Yes.
to honor it together. But I also know, because we touched upon
Mhm.
this too, these
Yes.
wants and these needs. It's only by honoring your needs and you honoring my needs and ourselves honoring our own needs.
Yes. Yeah.
In that honor is where those things, the the safe space is being
It's
created.
created. Yeah.
Let's also not forget this beautiful thing called love,
Mm.
right? Because that's what
Yeah.
we
Boils
are
down
all
to.
about. This why we are a family. And when you think of love, honestly, what
Mhm.
do we know about love? Really, what do we really know about love?
Chick flicks.
All I knew before meeting my wife is how not to love, because that's how I ended up in like a broken home. And when I think of Hollywood and I think of, is that what true love is all about? I don't think so. I think we have been projected a wrong image, a wrong idea of love. So, what is love? And I'm asking you, what to you is love? Like staying with the same partner for the rest of your life
What
and
is it?
loving them, a love that only gets stronger, a love that only gets better. How do you do that? What do we know about this thing called love?
We'd love you to put your thoughts and your feelings and any comments that you have in the chat. Please feel free to do so.
Awesome. Of course, please feel free to do so. And again, I'm not saying that the answer, the solution that we've come across has to be your solution, because I think I'm not here to tell you how you have to be married. That's something that you have to find out on your
Yes,
own.
exactly.
But when we're thinking about this thing called love, when we're talking about this thing called love, I found myself keeping going back to these lines. A couple of simple lines that describe what love is all about. Coming from a holy book, what I would like you to judge for yourself, to take your time to go through these
Mhm.
and let them sink in. And we've had
Mm.
these lines on our screensaver of our computer
The wall of
for
our bedroom
months. And at
too.
this point, they are in our bedroom up on the wall. And when we are having challenging discussions, it's been a while, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
But we go there. I like to talk to my wife about difficult things,
Mhm.
having this in the corner of my eye as a gentle reminder, like what is love and what do we really know about love. And I feel that the more you come back to this, the more that you go to these words, the more that these words will speak to you. Like just the first line, love is patient, love is kind. And every day with my children, I fail at least once, that I find myself not being patient. And that's okay. Doesn't mean that I'm a bad dad. Becoming aware of it can help me evolve and transform and transcend. Love does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor. No, I honor your needs, and therefore you honor my needs. It's not self seeking, it's not me who has to have the last word, who has to be right. Not at all. It's not easily angered, and sometimes
Mm.
that is a challenge. Just go for a walk. That's what I would say. Just
Yeah,
take the dog,
there
go
you
for a
go.
walk, go for a jog, go for a swim. Sometimes that physical distance, and some time, half an hour later, an hour later, you'll come back to your senses when our emotions calm down, right? It keeps no records of wrongs, keeps no record of wrongs. That's that forgiveness, right? And I don't like it when people say something that I did wrong 10 years ago.
Right.
And I'm sure you don't like that
No.
either. Okay, I know I made a mistake. There's nothing I can do about it now.
Yeah.
I cannot undo it. Would you still love me? Would you love me if you keep bringing that up, keep shoving it in my face? That's not what love is all about. It doesn't delight in evil, it rejoices with the truth. And what is the truth is that we became a family because we love one another, because we see in each other something that we do not see with someone else. And that's how we get to be. Therefore, I will always protect, I will always trust in us. I will always have hope that things can become better.
Mm.
And I will always persevere because love, in the end, never fails. That's what we found that works.
Mm.
So please feel free to borrow it. You can use these words, they aren't mine. But what works for you? What does love mean to you? That's what it is all about. You and your partner, because
Yeah.
we all love in a different way,
Yeah.
maybe.
And
Who
it's also
knows?
just like the last video where we asked you guys to define what is a mom to you? What is a dad? What expectations do you have? What words do you define?
What's in a word,
What
right?
is in a word? So also this is the same as even of maybe utmost importance in your relationship with your man to define what love is to you and what it means to you guys as a couple.
Exactly. One more thing that we have to add, we've touched upon it before, the love languages. We all have our own dominant love language. And if you find yourself like us, lucky that you speak the same love language, awesome. If not, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, Google these things,
Yeah.
do this self-test online, takes a couple of minutes, and learn to speak each other's love languages. Very important that you understand that the other person does love you, even though they show it in a different way than you would, that you are naturally inclined to do so. So we're talking about these relationships. We've got the communication to create a safe space that honors our wants and needs in love. One thing that we find very important there is marriage. And I know nowadays not everybody gets married, but science research has shown that when you are married, your children perceive you as being more serious, as being more real. Just in and of the fact that you are married, children take your relationship more serious. Even stepchildren. And it's so funny. I find it funny. Maybe funny is not the right word, but we live in an age and an era that we really marry for love. For thousands of years it wasn't the case.
No.
In many places in the earth it's not the case, yet we do. But 50% of first marriages, 70% of second marriages fail, even though we marry for love. It's just
mind-blowing.
Hallucinating. I don't know about that. I do know that in a blended family, marriage and parenting are closely related. The moment you get married or you have a relationship with a mom or a dad, probably a dad in your case, you at that same time also immediately become a parent. And that's why in a blended family, those two things are the roots. Because when the marriage is suffering, your parenting will also suffer. And when your parenting is suffering, your marriage will also suffer. That's why these two things are the root cause, the root of all other problems that could rise to the surface, that will rise to the surface, because it's life. There will always be opportunities for us to grow and to overcome and to evolve. But yeah, something to keep in mind. So but when we're talking about this thing called marriage, not too long ago they called it holy matrimony. I love that word though.
Such a great
Holy matrimony. We are joined
in holy matrimony.
right? It has something sacred to it, something that is like so super valuable that we cannot replace. That once it's broken, it's gone. So we have to make sure that it doesn't break. We have to treat it with kindness, with attention. And when we see that over 50% of marriages fail, then we think like, okay, we have to do something about this. And I cannot, maybe I cannot save all marriages in the world, and that would be too much of a responsibility to bear. But I do want to share with you how we do it at the Claimants in our household. We see this thing that we have between the two of us that's alive, that grows, that evolves, and that when you are rude, when you are harsh, you feel like it diminishes. But when you're kind and soft and open and warm, you feel it come to life. And that's why we like to compare it to a rose. However corny that may sound, I don't care. I know that it works for us.
I know that reminds me of Beauty and the Beast, and that's all that matters.
Whatever. But yeah, it is
delicate, it's precious, it's to be honored, right? It grows, it flourishes. Yes,
it needs attending.
Yes,
it needs some pruning. You have to be careful because you might sting yourself there, but it's so beautiful. It smells so sweet. It's like a miracle seeing come to life. And that's what works for us. That's what works for me. So a gentle, warmer reminder, request, like how would you like to
envision or see your holy matrimony in your relationship?
Exactly. How do you describe that love that is there? Think about it. What have we got next? Back to these relationships, working as a team, a two-man army to take on, to conquer the world like a well-oiled machine.
That's right.
And that's something that I remember is something that we have to learn.
Yes.
And some people are better at it, some people are not. I spent almost 10 years as a single dad. I was pretty used to doing a lot of stuff on my own, and now we come together, and then there's cultures coming together and all these habits coming together.
Yeah, maybe the last team you were a part of wasn't so great either.
Wasn't very much of a team. But when I think of a team, I always think of team sports, and I always think of like, okay, in a team, there is a reason why there is like one quarterback in football,
one pitcher
in baseball, and one catcher in baseball.
Yeah, one goalie, right?
There's a reason why in baseball there is one pitcher, but also one catcher. And what happens when we do not work together as a team, when I want to do your job and you want to do my job, and then basically nothing gets done. So learning how to work together as a team doesn't mean that you always have to be the one calling the shots. It doesn't have to mean that it's always gonna go the way that you want things to go. It means that sometimes you get up, sometimes I get up. We share our responsibilities, and we trust that together we want the same outcome.
Yeah.
And I have to trust that what you're doing is the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And when I look at these two guys, one could easily say like, hey, they were not communicating. But maybe they were communicating. Maybe they were saying, I got it. So at that point, it's not that they were not communicating, but they were not really listening to one another. The other one was like, no, I got it. No, I got it. No. which reminds me of feedback, which is
Ooh.
another one of those things that I find very challenging, to be honest.
To take
Um,
or
mm,
to receive?
I'm sure that
Anyway,
some
it's the
people
same.
love to
To
give,
give.
but yeah,
It is the
um,
breakfast for champions.
it is said exactly. It's for winners. It's just
Mm.
what winners do. They thrive on feedback. And I came across this. It takes humility to seek feedback because I have to like make myself small. It also takes wisdom to understand it, to analyze it, and to then act appropriately on it. All right. A lot of beautiful words. But what are we words? What are we talking about? We want to remind you and one another that feedback is merely sharing a perspective with the intention of helping one another out.
Yes, yes.
That's all it is. I'm not saying that you're never doing anything right. I'm not saying that you are bad or whatever. I'm just sharing what I'm seeing so that maybe you can do better afterwards.
Maybe this is the part of the session where you should invite your partner to make sure that he's watching with you. Just a suggestion, free advice.
Exactly. Now this feedback, this does bring it more into like advanced
Yes.
masterclass kind of things. But if we've learned that if you can make feedback, giving feedback, receiving feedback, sharing a perspective, that's all I'm seeing is that I'm sharing it with you with the intention of helping one another. If you can make that a habit, if you can learn how to give, learn how to receive feedback, practice doing it, giving and receiving, being kind. Once again, choose your words carefully. Be patient, be kind, be careful, and know that it's not personal. It's not a personal attack. It's just trying to help. That's all it is, right? I do know that if you can do those things, your life will improve tremendously. And I want to point out that it's not criticism. Oftentimes we think of criticism when we think of the word feedback, but it's not that one. It doesn't mean that you are wrong or that I am better or I'm wrong and you are better. It has nothing to do with that. Try to remind yourself in those situations, in those times, that it is meant positively. It is meant to grow, to help. So encourage one another, learn how to cooperate, learn how to work together as a team, learn how to become a better person through that feedback. Like I said, feedback may be very simple. It does not mean that it's easy, although it is a skill, although you can learn it. And if you master this, it's not only in your relationship, in your marriage, it's only not only with your kids, it's in your career, it's in your family, it's your entire life that will blossom,
Yes.
that will flourish. And keep practicing kindness. Maybe I'm talking about myself here, but I cannot stress this enough. I feel it's so important to be kind with yourself first, and then extend that kindness to other people. Yeah. As we are talking about a relationship, what have we not covered here?
Yes,
We've
especially
touched,
in blended
we've touched upon it
relationships.
earlier, right? This loss, this trauma. We have all loved, we have all lost. It's a part
Yeah.
of life.
Yeah.
But in a blended family, there is some healing
Healing
that
needs to take place.
needs to take place, but that also can take place. I've
Yes.
experienced in the years that I was a single parent, taking my time to lick my wounds, to get back on my feet. But then in a loving relationship is where that got to a whole nother level. Is where that process can be expedited.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Sure.
Sure.
Sounded good.
So much deeper, so much
Yeah.
faster, so much
Expedite it.
more profound.
There you
expedited,
go.
expedited.
Hmm.
So yeah, we all have, and listen, if you can come together and help each other through this healing process, because we all benefit from it.
Right.
But then we can also extend it to our children because they
Children.
have also gone through
Yeah.
this trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is then, once again, this leadership,
Mhm.
this courage, this being aware of what's going on within you, your wants, your needs, other people's wants, other people's needs. When you go through these things, you can then guide your children go through these things because they're only children. What do they know? They don't know what these emotions are, what they mean, their feelings. They cannot voice it. But you can help them go through this process.
Exactly.
So I found in a loving relationship, that's where that can really start to take
Mm.
place. And I'm sure that in 10 years and in 20 years, we still will be healing from what we have all experienced
Mhm.
over the course of our entire life, right? As we're getting better people, getting the better version of ourselves. Right. What are we talking about next?
Hmm.
Wow.
One of our favorite topics.
Being comfortably uncomfortable.
Say what?
Oh my gosh, what does that mean? It means that I'm okay with being not okay, basically. Um, in a blended family, as in life, there are so many occasions that we feel uncomfortable. That's when a loving relationship can come into play, can
Yeah.
help you smoothen out those
Yeah.
stressors and make you see that maybe home is not a place, maybe it's a person.
Person. Yeah.
It's like being together where you can be okay with being uncomfortable. And I think it's said so oftentimes that life begins outside of your comfort zone. It means that you're uncomfortable there.
Yeah.
Simple. And in a blended family, I don't have to tell you
No.
how many times a day, a week, that you are uncomfortable. But that is okay.
Mhm.
That is okay. We've got this thing called, what did we do with our date
The
nights?
uncomfortable date nights.
Uncomfortable date nights. Yeah, go on a date and do something that you've never done before, that you know you're gonna fail, that you know is gonna be hard. But just the fact that you're on a date and you're together and
Yeah.
you're in a cozy, loving situation, you get to learn how to work together even better.
Yeah.
Get to learn how to appreciate each other's strengths and weaknesses and leading and following and kindness and forgiving, and all these things come together in being comfortable with each other while being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that is a stretch. I know. It is simple, it is not easy, these concepts.
Yeah. And if you guys actually wanted some help with that, as Kim said, he looked at me and was like, what did we do with those dates? Because we actually have taken some of our coaching clients through this exact exercise of helping them not just talk about uncomfortable date nights, but actually plan them. So we created this quick document. It's 8 very stimulating, great conversational questions that'll get your brain moving and get you guys to plan your own uncomfortable date night. So if you guys want something like that, just hit yes simply or type yes simply in the chat. And if you're watching this on the replay, just when you're done, go ahead and write in the comments below of this video, or you can always reply to our email and just say, I want to get uncomfortable, and we'll know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. And maybe that's what growth is all about. It's
Yeah.
becoming uncomfortable. And then when we do that enough times, we get comfortable there. And then we can take it to a next level.
Yeah.
That we are uncomfortable in a certain situation, but while practicing, going through it enough times, we
Mm-hmm.
get comfortable
There you go.
once again. So, yeah, I cannot recommend this enough. Uncomfortably comfortable. No, comfortably uncomfortable.
Yes.
That's the one. Okay, we're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Because we've talked about this love thing, but we want to take it to the next level and want to reintroduce this idea of unconditional love. Because we've heard all about it. Unconditional love. What does that mean? it's almost as if it's impossible to attain, right?
Mm.
Well, I want to say that it is a skill,
Mhm.
and it's also a very simple skill, not easy, but it's also very doable. Because if you take away the un part and you think of this conditional love, and I know that it's maybe very normal, and I know that maybe that's what the world may think, and that's how we've been raised, treated, or whatever. But just this idea of like, hey, if you do A, B, and C the way that I like it, then I'm gonna love you. And if you do not do my A, B, and my C, then I'm not going to love you. Well, I wonder, is it true love that we are talking about in a place like that?
And I have to say, ladies, this can be very sneaky. It can be in just the everyday things. I think people would read this and we would think, gosh, that's not me. I don't love my spouse like that. I don't love my stepchildren like that. But when you think back, think of a few minutes ago, think back of how we define love, or maybe how you define love, then put that in this sentence. If you blank, then I love you. If you do not, then I do not love you. Put yourself through this test. It's okay if there's parts of your relationship that you're finding that you're a little conditional on. I think if I was really transparent and honest, I might even find there's areas in myself too where, wow, I'm withholding love here because I'm making it conditional.
Maybe from
And from
ourselves.
ourselves, from ourselves.
Maybe we
So,
have been conditioned. Maybe we have been
exactly.
programmed.
So, again, what we always want to encourage you guys, at least this is our philosophy in our heart, is that don't try to be who you think you want to be. Be who you are. And eventually you'll get to who you want to be. So it's so important that when you guys are taking these sessions and going through them, that you're honest and that you don't judge where you're at. Own where you're at. Again, look back in that mirror, right? That we talked about in the beginning of this presentation. Look in that mirror and see where you're at. Own where you're at. And that's how you can move and grow forward.
Exactly. So basically, what we are saying then, if we were to love conditionally,
Right.
if I were to love you only when you do the things that please me, and I were to not love you when you do things that I do not approve of,
Right.
then is it love? I wonder, I question. To me, the answer is no, because it's very simple. I see who you for who you are, apart from what you do, and I accept you, and I appreciate you, and I love you for you, not for me, not for who I want you to be,
Mm.
not for what I think is the right thing to say or do or wear or eat or
Hmm.
whatever we're talking about
Right.
here. No. In our home, in our house, we have this saying like, I don't want you to change yourself. I'm not going to hurt you for being not being who I want you to be. And I don't want you to pretend. I want you to be genuine. I want you to be totally you. Because if I love you for you, and I want to love you for who that you really are. I do not want to love you for someone that you are not.
Right.
Then I
Exactly.
would not be loving you,
Hmm.
and you would be messing with me and messing with yourself. And then what are we doing here? That's not what we want our family to be built upon. I want you to be the youest of yous, the you that is truly on,
Hmm.
genuinely, deeply. Okay, when we bring all these things together, that's how we feel about love,
Hmm.
about a loving relationship. I know there's a lot more that we can share, that we can tell, and we can speak about. But unfortunately, I think we are going over time here today. We
Hmm.
are going on, I've been going on more than
It's
I
only
thought I
because
would.
I know that he is so passionate. We are so passionate. And when you come back to his mission about empowering you, that's where all of this passion comes from.
Right?
So thank
Yeah.
you guys for sticking around with us.
All right. So, as we are talking about this successful step family system, it kind of looks a bit like this. Kind of looks like above sea level, above the surface, what we see everyday blended family life with the obstacles, with the challenges, with the problems. First level underneath is step parenting. That's the first place where those problems will show itself themselves. Through a
Mm,
joint parenting plan, we can together tackle some of those problems. What is my role? What is my voice? How
that's
do
right.
I discipline? How do I have a say in what goes on in our family?
So you don't get gypped.
And all these things, our marriage
Yeah.
just seeps through. It just comes to life in all these things. And if we do not have a good foundational, loving, caring, respecting,
Yeah.
open, thriving, loving, living relationship,
Amen.
then all these other things will suffer. If we focus on the foundation, focus on the bottom, the essence, the most essential things, all the rest will fall into place as well. So that you don't have to be the Titanic and your heart
Ah,
will go on and on, and your man does not have to go on the door. No,
Sink, he did not sit on that
he did not.
door.
So share this. Make sure that more stepmoms know about this because they do. They need to know about this. And by approaching your family this way, your step family, your blended family, you now get to build up your family from the bottom up.
Exactly.
Because, like we said before, when you go into blended family life from the first day you're a parent, and it's the kids, and we
Yep.
focus
And the
on what we
kids.
have to do and their needs, and there's an X, and we sometimes it's so easy to forget that this is why there's
Exactly.
this family.
Yeah.
So keep your focus there. So in recapping, how do we go about these things? First and foremost, focus on that happy, that healthy
Yes.
relationship. It is the foundation, it is the root, it is what matters most, your future, not your past.
Then,
Second step,
yeah.
focus on communication rules. What do you need? What do you need in your communication from your spouse, from yourself? Be open, be honest. That's the only way that this can work. What does your partner need? How can you respect his needs? How can he help you respect
Right.
your needs? And get together. And we call this not the parentments, we call this the declaration
Mm.
of
Of
communication.
communication. Yeah.
It's how we want the simple rules, don't overcomplicate things, how we want that communication in our family is. Write down 5 rules for your own marriage. Let's take it a next step, right? We've got the loving, healthy,
Marriage.
warm marriage.
Relationship.
Communication. How do you want
Mm.
communication to be in your life,
Mm-hmm.
in your marriage, in your home? Number 3,
Mm.
JPP. Cooperate, co-create
Yeah.
your parenting plan. Set of rules all the children live by for your stepchildren, but also for yourself, so that there's no less chaos, less
Right.
frustration. It is a greater purpose, helping your children become better people. And that as a stepmom, you're only reminding them, you're
Yeah.
only helping them
Exactly.
grow, evolve, get rewarded, doing the right thing. You don't have to be disciplined. You don't have to be power playing your stepchildren. And this is what we
Mm.
see.
Yep.
This, when all these things come together, this is the tip of the iceberg. And in doing so, you are actually what you're doing is that you're creating your own culture of your own
Mm.
family,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the customs, the
Right.
values, the
Yep.
normals, what you need, what you want. This is what we
Mm-hmm.
see in everyday life. And the other things we don't see. But that's why we want to have these conversations. And that's why we want to tend to them so that we know that they're good, they're solid. Next step, what am I doing here? When we
There you
have
go.
all this in place, now we get to enjoy life. We are building that family life that we always wanted. We can enjoy our marriage that grows stronger every day. There is love there, there is respect there, we're being valued, we're seen, we're heard. We've got
Definitely.
a strategy, we have tactics in place
Yep.
for when there are obstacles that will overcome,
It's
and we can deal with
inevitable.
them in a constructive way. And I cannot stress this enough, that when you build your family gradually,
Yeah.
solidly, take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, make sure that it's a solid step. Basically, this is where that entire
This is
framework
inevitable.
comes into play, how these things fit in one another. This is where we get to enjoy our
Yes.
life.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what it's all
Yes.
about, right?
Yes.
And it's one thing for you to know all these
Right.
things. Now you know what to do, you know why to do it, you know how to do it. So now that you can start building your own unique family culture,
Yes.
you know what to do, you know how to do it, you know how to approach it. And together with your man,
Hmm.
you now get to co-create the family of together,
Yes.
together, you do this together, with your own design, where the focus should always be that solid foundation.
That's right.
The
That
two of you,
relationship.
where the two of you come together, stick together, remain together, honor each other, love each other. And that foundation is always a strong, healthy, loving, flourishing. Use your own words.
Yes. Yes.
Which
Yes.
adjectives would you prefer here? Your marriage, your relationship, what matters to you? How do you want it to be in 10, in 20, in 30 years? Now, I
Whew.
know over the course of these past 3 days,
Yeah.
we've been sharing a lot with you. I know we've been going on quite some time tonight, but I want you to know that you don't have to do it all at
No.
once, and you don't have to do it all alone neither, because you are in a team. Do not forget that. Learn how to be a team by being a team, and know that you came together because of
Yeah.
the love. So celebrate
Yes.
what is there between the two of you, the beauty that you share. But I also want to let you know that I got your back too, if you would have me, that is, because I have created a solution for all of this. I create a solution first and
Mm.
foremost for you.
Yeah.
But of course, you cannot do these things without your man, so we need your man on board. But I think of you, I see you as the gate to your
Hmm.
family. I don't see men looking for help,
No.
looking for advice, talking to other men, taking advice, even coming to you to talk about these things. It's very, very, very hard for a man. If your man does do so, count yourself blessed. But I feel that women are the key. I think that stepmoms are
Yes.
the key to a
Yes.
thriving, healthy, loving family. And if you agree with me, if you know that it's
That's
the
right.
woman, it's the mom, it's the stepmom, that's the heart and the soul of the family, hit that share button, tag your family of favorite stepmom, let her know about this. And ladies, I cannot say enough, do not underestimate the power that you have, because I
Yes.
hear it all the time. Like stepmoms, we feel so powerless. We
Mhm.
feel like we don't belong, like we don't matter. We feel like we're being pushed to the sidelines. Do we even have a voice in all of this? Well, let me be the one to
Mhm.
tell you that you matter
Yes.
so much in the course of history. And this is the Trojan
Mhm.
horse right there. Wars have been fought over
So
a
true.
woman. If you play your cards right, if you approach it from the right angle, you are so powerful. Do not ever forget that. Do not ever underestimate that. Because when it comes down to men, I feel that men are very simple. We are very rational. We are very logical.
Mhm.
It's very simple. Men are simple. Like I said before, I believe that the key is in working smarter. I believe that working smarter is a feminine thing, it's a
Mhm.
female thing. I don't think that you need to work harder. I think working harder is for men. I think men enjoy working hard. I think I know that men enjoy a good challenge every once in a while. Just tell a man, hey, can you do this? Oh, I'll
There it
show you if I can
goes.
do this now. I'm all fired up. I want to work hard. I want to prove this, not only to you, only also to myself. So I would say, let your man do the hard work. If I were you, I would work smarter. I am such a fan of this girl power thing. Yeah, I know it's weird, right? But I'm convinced that when you work smart, when you come from love, that's what a woman is, right? You are the creator, you are the generator. You can help your man rise to the occasion that he feels, ooh, and together you become invincible. That's when there is a heartbeat. That's when your family, your love, your relationship comes to life. That's when the two of you come together and become indestructible by working smarter.
That's right.
Ladies. Not all at once, not all alone.
That's right.
No, because I've created a private membership exclusively for women. And when I say a private membership, I'm not only talking about a community.
Right.
It's not just a place to vent, to complain, to nag. And if you want to nag about your man, please do so. Not to your man. I would advise you to do it with other women, preferably other women that are in the same situation as you, that understand what you're coming from, that understand how it feels, that you can get all the words out of your system, that you can process verbally so that you know, like, okay, like 10, 15, 30 minutes, 3 hours later, you come to the realization like, okay, this is my problem. And when you come to your man with a problem, I'm sure that he can help you. But if you go to your man all emotional, your man's going to think that your emotions are the problem. And men, knowing
That's
men,
what they'll try to fix.
they try to solve things, they want to fix things, and they see your emotions as a problem, and they try to say, oh, baby, you don't, that's no problem. Why are you getting all upset about? That's not what you want to hear from your man. But I'm convinced, I know that if you come with this with a tangible, real, solid problem, and you play your cards right, your man is going to want to help you solve your problem. So it's important that you come to understand what is your problem in a community with other women who are going through the same challenges and obstacles as you are. But it's more than that. There's plenty of communities like that online where women are complaining all the time and just spilling out their negativity. And even though there's a time and a place for that, I know that this stepmomming thing is a skill that you can learn. And I've been sharing this successful step family system exhaustively with you. I feel I've been trying my best. So in this community that I'm creating, there is also a learning factor there. So if you are only about complaining and not putting in the work, trying to evolve and overcome and get to the solution with your family and your man to the next level, then you can just press that leave button, because then this is not for you. This is for women who want to learn, who want to grow personally, who want to get better at this. But I also know that not all learning can be done you on your own. There's also this coaching aspect. This I seem to keep stumbling over the same obstacle time and time again. What is it? What is it, coach? Help me out. And then I'll be there to get you to the next level, to make sure that you keep making progress. Like I say, this entire system is evidence-based. It is backed up by science. And I've created a program. I've got about 45 lessons. They're not too long. I know that stepmoms is moms. Now, everybody nowadays has a busy life.
Time is precious.
Exactly. So they're all 10, 15 minutes long. And they all have an assignment coupled to them. They all have their own little questions to think on, to reflect on, to ponder on, to talk through with your husband. I am very much about not giving you the answers. I feel like in your family, I'm not saying how you have to do
Right.
your marriage in your
Right.
family. Only you know. But I do know that there is a time and a place for the right questions,
Yes.
that you can come up with the right answers that are tailored for your specific situation. And of course, I want to talk about these things. Of course, I want to help you get clear on these things. I want to empower you. I want to empower all stepmoms, if you haven't noticed that
Mm.
by now. So I'm talking about an online community where learning, coaching, personal growth is at the forefront, where we focus on that strong, healthy, loving
Mhm.
relationship, you and your man. Because, I am on a mission. Because, I am here to empower stepmoms. Because I know that you matter. I know that you give your all. And I know that you deserve to be loved, to be appreciated, and to live the family life that you've always dreamt of. I know that you've given up on so many of your dreams, but I also know that you are the key.
Yes.
I believe that as a woman, you hold the key to a healthy, happy, loving relationship through healthy, happy, loving communication. I know that when you, as a woman, say, like, oh, I'm going to back off and see what my man does, I know that nothing positive comes from that. Nothing good ever comes from a woman stepping back and just let's see what he does. No, he'll get all confused. He will not know what is going on. He will be like scared. He will be confused. He will be lost. He needs your guidance, your intuition, your heart, your passion, your love. It's what a man needs. And I see myself as that bridge
Mhm.
between the two of you, that communication, that relationship that can improve. Well, let me help you there. Please practice your lines and your tactics and your strategies with me. Let's discuss them. And then when you're good, when you're strong, when you're ready, apply them. And together, I know that you can do this. I see that the woman, she has the power. And I know that if you give your man what he needs first, this is a sucker, I know. That's why we're in this together. I got your back. All these other women,
Yeah.
we're all supporting one another. And if you give him what he needs first, that's how you can get what you need.
That's right.
You need that attention and loving and caring and listening and sharing and talking and all these things. But a man, they're very simple. We are very simple, but we need these things first. And then we can do all these things. Then we can be all these things to you. But unfortunately, I see him pursuing you the way that you always dreamt and wished he would, loving you the way that you need to be loved, finding yourself being understood. If you can give a man what he needs, he will put in the effort to try and understand you to the best of the occasion. And I want you to just be celebrated for a woman. Because whether we get this thing like this word like stepmom put on there, doesn't matter. You are a woman and you have such a rich world within you that needs to be respected and honored and celebrated. So this is what I'm talking about is you. I want you to be celebrated for being you. You and your big, beautiful heart, your feelings, your opinion, your intuition. These are things that we as men are
Mm.
not born with. And a woman, you are born with those things. And as a stepmom, it's a predicament because you feel and you see and you know. How do you do this? How can you help your man see that it's in his best interest and the kids? And make sure that he's receptive to it and he's open to it and he wants to try it out and all these emotions, right? I'm talking about the Successful Stepmom Society for Successful Stepmoms. All so that you can be the best stepmom that you can be.
That's right.
And not just stepmom, you're also a mom, you're also a wife, you're also a daughter and a sister and
Right.
a woman and a friend.
Yeah.
Let's up your game, shall we?
Rise it to the next level, ladies.
Now, I may be a remarried dad, and that's why I can give you that inside look into what a man thinks, what a man feels. It's less than what you feel, I can guarantee you that. But I know what men feel. I know what they think. I know how a remarried dad feels when his kids go back and forth, when there is an ex, when there's a new stepmom in the picture, when there's an ours baby.
All the things, ladies, that I think we as stepmoms, we want to know, but it's hard to get that out of most men, right? Or we want to understand. So why would it be a bonus to work with someone like
why
you?
does that matter, right?
Exactly.
Now, okay, I want you to come to me with the hard questions, the questions that you know your man might not be as receptive to talk about, to discuss. Let me do that with you, because I know how he feels. I know what he's going through. I've been there, and some on plenty of occasions, I find myself still there. So come to me to practice with me those hard conversations first. Have the fights with me rather than with your man at home.
I mean, imagine how awesome, ladies, it can be to practice the hard conversations with another guy. I mean, we do this so much with our girlfriends, right? Like when we're having issues, when we're having struggles in our home, thank God for other stepmoms. Thank God for the women in our life. However, they can only go so far, right? At the end of the day, our women friends, our own mothers, our own sisters, our own our confidants, they can only take us so far because at the end of the day, they are giving advice. They are giving, wisdom through their own lens as a woman. They're maybe saying how they would do it or maybe what's worked in their marriage.
Exactly. And that's why this is a society exclusively for stepmoms, because there is a tremendous value there if you know how to use it and when to use it. But what women, other stepmoms, your friends cannot give you is that heart of a man, that mind of a man, my perspective. I couldn't have said it any better. Women are you are not a man, but I am. I can tell you how I would want to be approached and how not to be approached.
Right.
So while there is a time and a place for women to empower one another, to encourage each other, I'm convinced that there is definitely also a place where you would want to go and talk to a man and say like, hey man, how do I bring this conversation, approach my man? Thank you for helping me out there. How do I tackle this problem? I've been feeling this and that, or I see my man, and every time the ex calls, he's on the phone, and every time she threatens with his children, he lets her use him and be used. And why is that? Doesn't he love me? Of course, it has nothing to do with him not loving you, but it's the guilt in his heart, and it's his responsibility towards his children. The things that maybe a woman doesn't automatically naturally think of, but as a man, I do. So that's why I see myself, the stepmom guy, as every stepmom's go-to guy. I want you to go to me, come to me with those questions, those issues, those uncertainties. Is that the right word?
Yeah, among many other things, but yes.
Okay. At the same time, I will also be, your man will call me very soon, his best friend, because I'm here helping you guys, doing him a favor prepping you, preparing you, because like I said, I see you as the heart and the beating heart of the family. I think you are the smarter one. You have the
Heard it
key.
here first,
You
ladies.
are the key,
Yeah,
but you need your man. Otherwise, you wouldn't
yeah,
have gone into the family.
right.
No,
And the family won't last if
exactly.
you
No,
and your partner don't last.
totally.
So
So let
it's
me
really,
be your bridge to help the two of you come together. Help me, help you,
yeah,
help your man so that
boom,
he can help you better. That's what
exactly.
it's all about in the end. It's helping each other so that we can help one another.
Yep, exactly. So well said.
So, as we're talking about this
Society.
successful stepmom society, I wanted to give you a brief overview, very briefly, of what is in it, what does it entail, because all these things, they sound really good, and it is what we want and what we need. So let's break it down. What does it look like in detail? We have, first and foremost, the program that I've been sharing with you, the secret that all successful step families share have in common, but most Berlin families don't know about. But you do. You do know the secret, and I've been taking you through that system. But I can guarantee you that there is a lot more about this than what I was able to share with you.
A whole heck of a lot more.
The two of
Yeah.
us have been working diligently, turning all that framework, that entire framework,
Yeah.
into a training program.
Yes.
And when you join the society, that's yours.
Yes.
This entire, because it's not just a community to vent and to verbally process, it's also for stepmoms who want to up their stepmom
Yes.
skills.
Yes.
So there is a training program that's yours,
Yes.
built around the framework,
Yes.
scientifically proven.
And it comes with self-led lessons. So it's you take yourself through it at your own pace. You can download, there's also assignments. So it helps further your learning and engages. There's a lot of questions you can answer on your own. But then, of course, as Kim just so beautifully said a few moments ago, that it does take your man. So there's going to be times when you can actually work on these things with them. But again, it's for you to up your level. It's for this whole community that we have is for you to grow as not just a stepmom and not just as a wife, but as a person. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to do that with this online learning platform and program.
Exactly. But it's more than that. It's also a community, a private community, not just for anyone, exclusively for stepmoms who want to grow, who want to overcome the situation where they're at right now. Because I know that you've looked into other communities on Facebook and who knows where else. And oftentimes I hear from stepmoms, they say like, it's all just a bunch of negativity. It's all just complaining. It's all just tearing down the ex and tearing down. No, that's not what we are about. We are about lifting each other up. Come to us, vent your troubles, speak out what's going on in your mind and your heart, but we are here to uplift one another. That's what you'll find in the community here. There will also be a weekly live coaching and consulting sessions where you can ask me those questions, where we can practice those conversations, where as you're going through the program, as if there are things that are unclear, if you don't know how to approach the things with your man, if you find yourself and your man too far apart, let me be that bridge. That's also in the society.
And I have to add that this will be a group live coaching session, so which is so positive. And another perk about this is that you're going to learn from each other, because there may be something that you didn't think to ask, or maybe it's something you haven't dealt with yet that another one of the stepmoms in the group will ask, and you'll get to learn and engage with each other. And I guarantee if you give the opportunity is presented, that you'll notice a lot of the women will actually give each other advice as well. But Kim will be there to consult, to encourage, and to guide you guys on week by week.
And that's the beauty of a learning community, because you may feel, we all feel like we are in a very tough position, but when we hear other stepmoms and they come with their stories, first of all, you'll learn, you'll pick up some tips and ideas here and there. But maybe you'll walk away feeling a lot better than you did before, because maybe my situation isn't
Not
that bad
so
after
bad.
all. No, really. But anyways, we also have weekly live workshops because yes, we have this program that you have what the entire family society is built upon. But I also want you to keep your stepmom skills up to date. So there will be weekly live coaching workshop sessions where we can keep your skills upgraded every time.
And sharp.
Thank you. But there's also bonuses. When I talk with stepmoms, what I often hear is that they wish that there was a place like this for their men, where their men could go to. But I can tell you as a man, that's not what men do. I don't go looking on Facebook online into communities to talk about my problems, not at all. But I do want to offer exclusively for your family for joining the Successful Stepmom Society, because you're right, because your man does need a place like this. He may not always want to go there voluntarily, but I do want to offer him the opportunity to come and hang with other remarried dads who are in the, or if you're not married, you know what I'm talking about, right? With other men who also have a stepmom in their life, who also have
an ex,
kids going back and forward, and custody issues and raising issues and conflicts, so that they do feel the sense of like, hey, I am not alone in all of this. That's a bonus that I would like to offer for your family if you join the society. On top of that, I would also like to extend you the opportunity to come to your men to come with your man to a couples coaching session. Once a month, you will have the opportunity to bring your problems, bring the stuff where you feel like, hey, we're unsure. How do we do this? We find that we are like on opposite sides. We don't see eye to eye. Come, and then together we can talk about these things. Bonus number 3 is that oftentimes when we have specific problems, we go online, we look on internet, Google, Instagram, Facebook, and nowadays we live in an era, there's just an information overload. 10 years ago, you had a question, you typed it in Google, you get an answer fairly quickly, fairly qualitative answer. Nowadays, I find there's so many answers, there's so many opposite perspectives oftentimes. If I look for an answer, I'm in this loophole for 2 hours and I have not found the solution. That's why, like I promised you, I want you to the society to be your one-stop shop. I want you to talk to me, say like, hey, Kim, can you help me figure out this thing about custody, this thing about parental alienation, kids going back and forth? How can we help our kids best? Let me do the research. Let me reach out to an expert. Let me invite them. Together, you and I and all other stepmoms, we think of all these questions that we want to ask. What information do we need? What problems are you? What topics would you like to hear an expert talk upon? Once a month, I will bring that expert into our society exclusively for members only. All of this, if you were to add up all those numbers, the amounts, right-hand side, even apart from the Successful Step Family System, which we have been selling for almost $2,000 program, if you add that all up, you'll have a monthly value of over $600. But I don't want you to be having to pay $600. When we launch our program, the monthly subscription will be $47 per month. Or if you say like on a yearly basis, instead of paying $7,500, I am offering you a discounted amount of $470 for the entire year. That means that you'll have 2 months for free, which means that you save $94. And I can guarantee you that this price will never, ever, ever go up.
So that means if you if you commit to this price when when the when the society launches, that you get that price locked in for life. So even as the society continues to grow and our prices go up as we have more offerings, your price will never change.
Exactly. Guaranteed.
Now, if you're liking that already, we are going to say that you're going
Exactly.
to be happy that you just stuck around, because we have some even better news for you.
Because we are launching for the first time ever is this offer coming out, and there will also be this once in a lifetime only offer, because I want to extend you an even more beneficial of only $37 a month, or if you go for the year, $370 for the entire year, where you save another $72 on top of the $94. And to be honest, $370 for the year is just a little bit over $1 a day. It's $1 a day.
Think about how many things you spend $1 a day on. I mean, you can't even get a coffee for $1 a day
Not at
anymore. You
all.
can't even get a pack of gum
It's like 2
for
coffees a week now.
$1 a day. Yeah, I think
It's a coffee a week. It's like $7 for a coffee.
at
For
least
a fancy coffee.
I think you go to Starbucks and all that, which kind of a guilty pleasure here.
A coffee a week.
But think about that, is that, and it's $1 a day. And when you think about what are you actually investing in, you know, you are worth the investment. Your family is worth the investment of at least $1 a day. And this is something that you'll get your investment back on. There's so many stats we could show you, like how expensive like divorce is and how expensive it is to pay for therapy and all these things that this
Just that
society
in
is going to
itself.
help you avoid. It's going to help you rise above those things. So you'll get your investment back in so many different areas.
10,000 fold.
Yes.
Because we may not want to admit this, but the stats are against us.
Staggering.
The ads, 7 out of 10 blended families don't make it. And I don't want your family to be that family. I don't want you, your man, or your children, or your stepchildren to have to go through that, all of that. So I do believe that you are worth way more than $1 a day, but this is my way that I can and want and would like to help you out. If you would have me, your price will never ever go up. Even when you sign up at $37 a month or $1 a day, your price will always remain the same. Doors will open on May 1st, only for a limited time, because on May 8th, they will be closing. That's when we will be starting with our program, with our membership, with our society on Mother's Day, because I see you as a mother. Even though you're not, you are. To me, you are. And I've listed it out here once again: the monthly membership, annual membership, not 47 but 37, not 470 but 370, as a launch only special just for you, because I believe that you are worth it a lot more. You are worthy. But this offer will not last. This offer will not stay. This offer will not be up for a long time. I'm taking it down at May 2nd at midnight in California, when the clock strikes 12 midnight. This is gone, and this opportunity will never ever be in your lap ever again. Price will go up after that, because I know that women who are successful, who do make it, are the ones that take action. When they see an opportunity, they know that it's an opportunity, and they follow through with it. And that's who I want to help even more, because I know that I want to work with you very gladly, and I want to have you in our society.
And what's that phrase in America, ladies? I don't know if Kim can help me out with that. Something like, you put your money where your mouth is, or something like that. It's just basically like you put your money where your love is, where your pride is, where your investment is. And I think of in life, when I have put money towards something, I value it more. So it is time. It is time. We've reminded you through this entire summit that you matter, that the value that you bring your family matters, that the value you bring to the world matters, that you are such, so often I think in the last couple of years, the phrase stepmom has been more replaced by bonus mom. And you really are a bonus. You add so much to your family. There's such a wealth of knowledge that you can bring to your family, but you're only able to do that when you are your best self, when you are taking care of you first and foremost. And that's exactly what you will get at this society. You're going to have women that are going to surround you and encourage you in those tough and challenging moments. It's going to be a place that you can access 24/7 from your phone, no matter what. We have members already from all over the world, people who are waiting to get into our doors that can't wait. So there's going to be people at all hours of the night, all hours of the day that can encourage you, and you can access it anywhere. That's the beauty, is that it's an exclusive society online, so you can access it wherever you're at. And then on top of all that, you're going to have a man's perspective. You're going to have someone that ultimately, at the end of the day, knows the inside of your brain, your husband's brain,
Your
maybe
husband's
just a
brain.
little bit better than you do, just simply because he's a man as well. And that is so valuable, guys. I can't tell you how often it's just been such a blessing. I've witnessed so often right next to Kim, or even on the sidelines, watching him speak to women, and all these light bulbs going off. These women messaging Kim saying, "Oh my gosh, like my husband and I had the best conversation we've had in weeks. We've had the best sex we've had in months," simply because they connected, simply because there was a little few tweaks here and there. And also, there's such relief, ladies, when we are just able to open up and not dump everything on our man, when we can just come to a safe space, a safe community, and open up. And then we have that opportunity to come to our man fully confident, but fully at peace, and not so overwhelmed, and fully ready to speak to him in his heart that we know that you love so much.
Exactly. When he feels valued, when you feel valued,
Yeah.
when he feels understood and you feel understood, that's where the magic happens. That's in that magic. That's the sweet spot,
Only
and that's what we're talking about.
success can happen from there.
Absolutely. Once again, brief overview, but I do know, I'm so certain that this is worth its value 10,000 times over. That if for any reason, what reason whatsoever, you feel like you have not gotten the value that I'm asking you for, or you're not satisfied, or you don't like it, or whatever, I will give you your money back. 30-day money back guarantee, no questions asked. That's what I was trying to say. The no questions asked. So check out the stepmomguy.com/launch. Doors will be opening on May 1st. So you'll have to hold your horses, ladies, because you can't get in just yet. But soon enough, I will keep you posted. I will let you know when the doors open. You can go to that website. You can go and check it out, because it's live. It's out there. You can find more details about the society. If you have any questions at all times, please do reach out. Stepmom Guy on Instagram or on Facebook, or stepmomguy@gmail.com. I'm here to help you if you have any questions. I'm on a mission to empower you, if you will have me, because I want you to enjoy, to live the family life that you always wanted growing up as a kid. No girl ever thinks of growing up like, I want to be a stepmom, I want to be a bonus mom. No, but
It's where you are.
it's life. It's where you.
So let's
I
make the
love
best
how
of
you
it.
can just say all that so beautifully.
So let's make the best of it.
Exactly. Let's make sure that this family of yours is your family, and that you feel at home and appreciated and understood, and make sure that you get the love that you need. We need that love so much. You do too. And that appreciation that you so deserve.
Yes, ladies. Can't say it much better than that. Make sure you guys continue to check your spam folders. Sometimes our emails pop in there, but you will be getting several emails coming up all about the launch, reminding you when it goes live, reminding you when the doors are going to shut. So just stay tuned to your spam folders, your email, and definitely be sure to check us out online, because we are going to be posting so much about this launch in the next coming week. But on behalf of Kim and I, we do want to thank you and say congratulations on completing the summit. You guys have already made such tremendous steps moving forward. Continue to come back to these summits as much as possible. We're going to leave these links up, so please make sure that you go back through here if you have any questions. Again, always feel free to reach out. And we are just so very proud of you. You are awesome. Way to go, stepmama. You matter. And we look forward to continuing to working with you so that you can declare yourself as a successful stepmom.
Yes, ma'am, for you and your family. Now we've been here long enough. Time to go and enjoy that family. Time to go and enjoy that beautiful man and marriage of yours.
That's right. Talk soon,
Talk soon,
ladies.
man.